I'm going to do a quick build of Ayara. Of course, I've been waiting a long time to do this build. And it's going to be a Commander, the Black Devotion deck. Now, this is really more like, how would I say it? This is one of those builds that I'm not going to really polish the turd on because it's just not going to be that great. It's almost like saying, okay, for the record, I'm going to make a build with a few Theros cards and everything else that I had, and then I'll make this a real devotion deck later on. Okay, so there really aren't that many cards. I already took out a few, and I wanted to make it a quick build. So everything is mana ordered, and the creatures are already in one group, and then the non-creatures are in another. Okay, so that's the non-creatures, that's the creatures. I can't really take that many cards out to make like 40, 41, 42 creatures. It centers on sacrificing, of course, because Ayara, you sack another black creature and you draw a card. So it's made for mono black, and it's got triple black, which is great. But as I've said in the previous videos on Theros 2, it's kind of like the devotion set without devotion. So I think we're gonna play a little Theros, and I'm gonna crack some deck builders toolkits next. I got one for each selection this morning at Target. We'll see how it goes. I gotta get a little more positive about Theros. So far, what I've seen is I'm not seeing enough of these triple mana cards in Theros, so it's kind of weird that I have to go and crack more Throne of Eldraine to have better devotion cards. And that's what I think I'm going to probably end up doing. Alright, so when the creatures enter the battlefield, including Ayara, each opponent loses one life and you gain one life. That's fantastic. I love this commander and I want to build to it. Even without devotion, I think that's what I'm probably going to do. Actually, that's kind of like what this build is. Alright. Now, in the case of the one-drop critters, I've got too many, so I'm already going to look at these and kind of take something out. I see that I have 8, so I think I'm going to take myself down to 5. Okay, so this is good, pop it, and you hit -1/-1. You can make it bigger. That's pretty good, and it's got lifelink. Defender, and you can surveil. This one's going to be one of the ones that I want to take out. Of course, I'm on the graveyard. I'm sacking. I'm sacrificing. So anything that can take itself out of the graveyard is great. So this card is actually pretty good here. All right. And I'm also looking for flying. I'm not sure how crazy I want to be on putting things in my graveyard, but definitely flying. So I think it's going to stay. And this card also flies. And you can sack it, you can force your opponent to discard it, which may not be the best thing, especially in a standard with now this Theros 2 set, which has a lot of reanimation, or apparently some. So I think this card is good in here because it's a flyer 1/1/1. And this card is really good because you can put it onto the battlefield from your graveyard when you sack a food. We're not going to have that many food items in here. But I think it's a keeper. And then this guy has Death Touch, and of course, the thing that makes Throne of Eldraine such a more powerful set, in my opinion, than Theros 2, is this 2-for-1 deal with the adventure. So this is a great card. So really, I think we're down to, I was only able to get rid of one, and I'll have to just pick one card that I think should go. So I would say this guy goes. From Theros 2, incredibly enough. And I would say lifelink, return, flyer, return, death touch. I'm going to say the lifelink dude goes out. So I'm going to take those 3 out outright. And then I'll do a creature count. And try to be like 40, 41, 42, something like that. Okay. Amass is fantastic, so I think it's a keeper. Very rarely do I get rid of this guy. I really like Amass. Second artifact or a creature for 2 and put a +1/+1 counter on this guy. That's not bad, and it's a bear. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 4 or greater, and it's already a 2/2/2. Yeah, that's alright. Deals 2 damage to target opponent for 6, and it's a 2/1/3. I would say no. Even though it's got good devotion, it's really a sideboard card, and we don't have a sideboard in Commander. It plays on white and green, so I take it out. Feed the graveyard, gain some life. Death Touch, yep, I like it. Death Touch replaces itself. Good critter all around. Flyer, exile something out of an opponent's graveyard. I'll take it even though it's a 3/2/1. Cannot block, has a big escape cost to bring it out of the graveyard. I'll keep it in because this deck is so limited in what it can do based on the supply of cards. Sack a creature for 3 and draw a card. That's actually not that bad on a 3/2/3. I'm not triggering the Constellation with enchantment creatures, so this is really just a creature here. I'm going to say no for now. Put a counter on target creature you control. You can sack it, put a counter on something. Yeah, you're on a sack deck. Yeah, 3/3/2. It flies. It's a keeper. And you can give a haste for 1. It flies and you feed your graveyard. So I keep it. When it enters the battlefield, you create a food token. I'm going to need food tokens. And you can sack a food token and hit for 3 for 2 mana. Yeah, I would keep it, even though it's a 3/1/3. Death Touch 3/2/2. Yeah, sure, why not? Scry 2 and it's got good devotion. Yeah, I would keep it, even though it doesn't fly. When it attacks, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. I'm gonna take it out. It's a 3/2/2. Attacks, you may sack another creature. If you do, it can't be blocked, and it's a 3/3/1. I would keep it. I keep this guy. He would force me to discard a lot for a 3/7/6, but that's kind of nice. This guy is always a keeper because forces, you sack something and your opponent sacks something, and you're on a sacrifice deck, so it fits pretty well on this deck. And Amass 1 is very good, so I would keep it. A 4/4/3, it's got good devotion, but I have hardly anything in here that says if you have devotion you get this bonus. So really I would say no until I get more Theros cards. I wouldn't even dare call this deck a devotion. I don't know, maybe it is, but I'm not going to put it in. Put 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. It's got Death Touch 4/3/3. I'll say yeah. Menace and enters with a counter if you use black mana. You're going to do that. So this guy's actually good in here, even though it doesn't fly. Enters the battlefield, sack another creature, put a +1/+1 counter. Yeah, it becomes a 4/4/4. That's not terrible. In such a limited selection. Life Linker, 4/1/5. I don't think I need fat butts, so I would say no. And then a flyer 4/3/1, I'll take it. I'll take pretty much all flyers. And Amass 4/3/2. I'll take the Amass. And the Gravedigger, because I'm throwing things in the graveyard and I want to recover them, for sure, I'll keep it. This guy is always going to be a keeper. Fantastic card. Flyer. Yeah, and Trample. 4/4/4, yeah. 5/5/4, not sure that I would want it. 5/3/7, great and limited. I don't think I would keep it in a commander deck. A flyer, sack of food, and you do something. You may not have a food in this deck that often, but it's at least a flyer. It's got good devotion, but I'm not sure I'm going to even bother calling this deck a devotion deck, given how I don't really have anything that helps me with devotion yet. Number of creatures you control, yeah, it's alright. But I'll take it out and maybe put it back in. Yeah, Afterlife replaces itself. I mean, this is a very limited pool. A flyer that I keep putting in from the toolkit. and cost your opponent to discard is not that great. When it attacks, gains flying, that's not terrible, but I would take it out and do a creature count. Let's see how close we are to 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 34. So 34, I think we were a little too aggressive in the cards that we took out. So I would bring back boy, I'll bring back this guy. 5/3/3 deals damage to target opponent equal to the number of creatures you control. I'll bring it back. I'll bring this guy back. It can become a flyer depending on conditions. I take the life linker and you can boost it. And I take, see, I'm too many 1-drops. I don't feel comfortable with so many 1-drops. Yeah. I bring back the vanilla and this guy. 4/4/3. Yeah, I think that was 5, so I'm at 39. I'll pick one more out of these. I don't want to overthink this deck. It's just, I'll watch this video later and see how, just as a reference of how much more a deck can be improved later on, I'm hoping. So I think the best card in here, it's not the best of selections, but I would say the guy with the big fat butt is probably the best creature in here. And there you have it. So those are the 40 creatures, and I think I'll just make a second video to close out the deck and stop right here.